You know, we use the RACE acronym as in your response should you discover a fire. So think RACE. Most people say run out. No. You know, the residents are dependent on you all, us all as staff. A lot of them would maybe not be able to get themselves out of the building. And each of their apartments is a 1-hour safety zone. And that's why that door has to latch. It's a nuisance, you know, for walkers and motorized carts and things. But that's the theory behind why that door has to latch. It's because that apartment is a 1-hour safe zone in fire. So
we have some that don't latch.
shame on you.
We do, and we are reporting them, they don't latch.
It's a difficult thing to do with spring-loaded hinges, depending. And then we have some that have requested, you know, the operators, and in order to be able to do that, you know, the doors latch, the operator won't work. But that is the theory as to why those doors are supposed to latch. Just like every other door in the hallway, be it a laundry room or a utility room or a bathroom or a storeroom, that door is still supposed to latch because the hallway is the exit way to get the safety to get out of the building. Okay, back to RACE. Response to discovering a fire. The R being the rescue.
I'll have to do it for you.
Oh. Next slide, please.
This one or the next one?
This one. So the R is the rescue. You know, rescue that resident or residents out of the apartment is the first thing. And then the A. Next slide, please. So A stands for alarm. You know, how do you set off the alarm if it's not already going? Pull one of those red pull stations. Should be one right over there. There it is. So basically every exit door has one of those pull stations. So that is how you would set off the alarm or call for somebody to set off the alarm to set it off in the building. So rescue and then sound the alarm. The C then is for contain. Very important. We already talked about the doors latching, but far more people die from smoke inhalation than do from being burned. So the containment is very, very important. You do that rescue, pull that door shut, and latch. Grab that magnetic little tab inside the door that says evacuated. Okay? So that other responders know when they come that that room has been evacuated, so they're not opening that door and letting more smoke out and letting more oxygen in. Latching also, fire is starving for oxygen, so it creates a draft. And if that door is not latched, it's going to suck that door open to suck air in there. So that's why we say the containment is so important. And to mark those doors with that evacuated magnetic sticker so that other responders know. We had a fire in this building many years ago where a resident put one of those neck warmers in the microwave. And they set it for 12 minutes instead of 1 minute and 20 seconds. And they went back and laid back down in bed. So this thing cooked in that microwave until it smoldered. It smoked and, you know, smoke out of the door. It never actually went to flame until they opened the door on the microwave to get the thing out. And one staff member went to get the resident out. The other one got a towel and managed to get that neck warmer into the sink and turn it on and get it doused out. But stinky, stinky smoke throughout. And you have to be aggressive like that staff person did. That resident was sleepy and groggy, leave me alone, I'm in bed. You know, had to be real aggressive and say, if there's a fire in here and there's smoke, you're coming with me or I'm dragging you out, to get him out. But then the other staff started evacuating the adjacent apartments. By the time the fire department got here, they had evacuated the wing, And the fire department even said, you know, we need to check all these apartments. They know all these that are marked have been evacuated. They said, great, we have never seen that before. We come in and typically we have to check that. So it was saved them a lot of time. They just, you know, evacuated some below as well. And then the fire department brought in fans, and they carried the microwave out and set up fans to evacuate the smoke and help clear things out so those other residents could go back into their apartments. So again, that containment, very, very important. And then the E. The E for extinguish or evacuate. Now, extinguish, you know, if it's something small enough, extinguishers are located throughout the building, in the hallway, in these bubble-covered cabinets. You know, if you can grab one of those and put it out, fine. But if it's an inferno, you know, where we've had an airplane crash into the building or something like that, where we're just got to get everybody out as quick as we can, then you go to that evacuation. Quail Run building is different than Mennonite Home in that Mennonite Home is a defend in place type building. We can evacuate to another zone, you know, to like the chapel or the dining room, and we don't have to take people out of the building necessarily unless whoever the incident commander or the fire department says we need to. This building is not like that. It does have this different fire zones, 7 or 8 of them, you know, like the dining room here is one and the kitchen there. But we want to evacuate those residents beyond a set of fire doors. But that's a safer zone. It's not a safe zone. We would need to continue that and evacuate the building in the event of a true fire event until whoever's in charge is saying, stop, you don't need to take more people out. This is a total evacuation building. We would evacuate residents depending on time of year and weather over the pavilion or over the maintenance shop. The master key for this building also opens the maintenance shop, and it has heat and light and bathrooms and chairs, and so we would immediately move residents over there, and then we would have to find other accommodations if we can't bring them back into the building.
Is that just back here, the maintenance shop?
Yeah. Okay.
It's next to the
Next slide. So, summary, you discover a fire, think race, rescue, alarm, contain, evacuate, or extinguish. Okay. Use of fire extinguishers also has an acronym, as you see with the quiz there. The word PASS. Next slide, please. So, P stands for pull. These extinguishers have a grenade-like pin on them, on the handle, and that's there to keep the handle from inadvertently being squeezed and discharged. So the P is to pull that pin. Next slide. The A then is to aim that nozzle. The extinguishers have a drop-down nozzle. You want to pull that up and aim it at the base of the fire. The compound in the extinguisher is designed to coat and suffocate the flames. So you want to aim at the base of the flames from a safe distance. And then the next slide, please. The S is to squeeze that handle. That sets off the discharge. And then the next slide, the last S is the sweeping action. You aim at the base of those flames, sweeping action, and then move in as you knock it down until you got it completely coated and completely out. That's how extinguishers typically are used. Now in the kitchen, we have different type of extinguisher called a K, which is in a stainless steel container. The type that you see here and that we have in the hallways everywhere are the ABC type. They can be used for any type of fire, be it wood, cardboard, paper kind of thing, electrical, or grease, oil, gasoline type fires. The reason we have these K types in the kitchen is because The ABCs, if you use them in a kitchen, they coat that, whatever that is that you're spraying it on, and it hardens so much that it would take a hammer and chisel to clean the stuff off of the stoves and things in the kitchen. So the K is a powder that still does the same thing as far as putting it out, especially good with grease, but it's a powder cleanup versus, and typically your fires are grease type in there. Now they also have the ABC type at the back of the kitchen. You keep the K type up by the cooking center, so we use that there. But we do have the ABC ones there as well. Okay, questions? So when the alarm goes off in the building, you maybe didn't discover the fire, but the alarm goes off. What do you do? Okay, so first thing you should do.
Check your area.
First thing you should do is check the area that you're working in. Every apartment has that little red dome light in the ceiling above the door. So you want to look around the hallway that you're in, if any of those red lights are lit, and then you go to the panel. And the panel up here, second floor, top of the stairs here, red lights will be flashing and it'll give you a descriptor of what zone the alarm is coming from. Now, Quail Run is a zonal system, not an addressable system like we have in Mennonite Home. Part of my goal one of these years is to change this to an addressable system. So it does not tell you what apartment that alarm might come from, but it will tell you that it's second floor wing C, or second floor wing A, or first floor wing B, or the kitchen, or the dining room. So then you have to report to that area, look for that red light, or for the obvious signs of fire, and if there are none, we have to do a room-by-room search in that zone, and before we can say that it's a false alarm. Now in Quail Run here, every spring, fall, when they start using the heat after summer of air conditioning, we get false alarms because the electric coils heat up and then built up dust on them, and then they get smoky and enough to set off the alarm. So we still have to respond to that, but you can't just determine it's a false alarm because there's no red light, no apartment activated. The only way you can tell a smoke detector has been activated is there's a little tiny pin bulb in it that normally flashes green, but that'll turn red if that smoke detector has been activated. But first thing you do is check the area you're working in, report to the panel, find out where the alarm is coming from, go to that area, and if it's identified as a resident apartment, you start with that evacuation there, adjacent ones, and then above or below that apartment, depending on whether it's on first or second floor, and then working out from that area, that entire wing, get people either outside or beyond the smoke and fire doors, and then continue that evacuation until it's said that you can stop whoever the charge person is in the building or the fire department when they show up. Questions?
Just
Go ahead.
to make sure I got it straight. Okay, so after you do the adjacent and the above, then you get everybody
Then you work out to
work
the
out and get everybody to pass the fire door, and then hopefully further instruction by then on whether we're completely leaving the building. Okay.
Our fire drills have changed since, and we're supposed to report to the fire panel, and somebody's supposed to pass out cards to tell us where to go.
So the cards, there are some cards, good point, because there are some additional tasks that need to be done, not just evacuating the residents. If you have a resident that's on oxygen, you need to check that room for the oxygen canisters. Canisters, if they heat up, that oxygen expands and they can blow the top, and that becomes a missile that'll shoot through walls. concentrators do not store oxygen. So if a resident is on an oxygen concentrator, you can unplug it, but you don't need to take it out of the apartment with you. It's those canisters that we're concerned about. If it's on the wheelchair or if it's on a pack that they wear or carry with them, those are the things that we're concerned about getting out of the building. You know, are there fans? You know, we don't have fans in the ceilings in most areas, but those help distribute smoke. So if there are fans, you know, you want to turn them off. We want to send somebody down to the front entrance here when the fire department arrives as to, you know, where the fire is. If they get called by the automatic dialer, it's going to tell them Quail Run. It doesn't tell them what floor or what wind that fire may be coming from. Someone to call 911. Thinks the obvious, but we need somebody to, you know, that if we discover a fire like that, to call 911. The computer does have an auto dialer, but that can take 90 seconds till they call monitoring service. And with Stanley,
They call us first.
they will call you once they get the alarm, but they're not going to get it until the dialer dials it, and then they call in. But their corporate office is Nebraska or somewhere. You know, but they have a 24-hour man call center. So, you know, that call, even though, you know, that's almost instantaneous until it dials and they pick up and they confirm, and then they have to call the Albany Fire Department and tell them that they have an alarm and the address of this building. So there are some other tasks and cards, things that need to be done. Any other questions or comments? How about the oxygen room? Yes, that's something that the fire department is going to ask about when they come in. You know, residents are primary, but it depends on how close proximity that is to the fire. As yes, you would want to evacuate the canisters from that, you know, from that room.
If they're empty cylinders, don't they still hold some oxygen in them?
Question is, if the cylinder's empty, do they still have some oxygen in? Yes, they can, and even by virtue of, you know, air in it and the top sealed, they can still expand. The thing is, with when they come filled, it's compressed. I mean, those little canisters, you know, are yay tall and yay round. They hold 12 cubic feet, compressed wise, when they're full. So when they're empty, they're very little risk. Right. And that was one of the citations that we got from the fire marshal survey in Mennonite Home, was that the oxygen room did not have labeled crates that designated one as for empty canisters and one for full, even though the tags are on the full ones and off the empty ones. They're saying that they want quick identification, so when the fire department's here, they can go in and they can immediately identify which rack has the full ones on that they need to get out of there. The empty ones are not as concerning. Okay?
We recently had a fire drill, and the fire was in the middle of the hallway, and we had residents crossing the fire.
That's where Ken needs to stand there and not let them through. Because, yeah, fire is not always as convenient as a drill might be. So, yes, there are times, and there are, you know, an obvious source would be an electric panel that's in the mid-hall. You know, it may mean that you have to go outside and around and back in, or if it's on the second floor, down the first floor and come up and back and take those residents beyond that location out the end instead of in through the main lobby. It's not always the most convenient. So, and it may mean that you have to go around and come back in, or go over and down and back just to
Have
get
them
to those.
stand in the stairwell.
Okay, good. Anything else? Okay, so now we're going to watch the video on the use of these stair chairs, and then we'll do some practice with, actually using it with each other. Come down the stairs and take it back up, and have some others try it and practice. That's the only way you learn how to use it when you need it. Go.
For a review of emergency response and evacuation procedures, unlike any in recent history. Preparation for acts of terrorism gave momentum to the changes now taking place, but the truth is, evacuation is less likely to result from terrorist attack, and more likely to be a response to events that occur every day due to fire, gas or chemical leaks, power failure, or natural disasters. During an emergency, evacuation assistance isn't necessarily limited to providing aid to disabled people. Assistance may become necessary because of severe injury, age, or even mental or physical distress. As a result, facility operators are recognizing the value of products that will facilitate evacuation. For over 60 years, Stryker Medical has been creating top-quality, innovative products to support the delivery of medical care in hospitals and clinical settings. In 1994, that commitment grew to include emergency medical services and resulted in the development of rugged ambulance cots and stair chairs, products designed for durability, flexibility, and ease of use in emergency situations. Stryker's commitment to support emergency response is expanding yet again through the creation of an evacuation chair designed to meet the unique needs of those responsible for emergency evacuation. In fact, apartment and office building managers, school, hospital, and hotel administrators, stadium directors, and virtually all multi-story facility operators will find the Stryker evacuation chair to be a valuable asset when it comes to making emergency evacuation safer and easier. The ability to evacuate safely and efficiently not only satisfies emergency response plans, but it's also central to the satisfaction of fire safety requirements and the emergency response guidelines established for people with disabilities through the Americans with Disabilities Act. That's why Stryker recommends the placement of one evacuation chair per disabled person per floor, either in close proximity to the disabled person's living or workspace, at fire exits, or in smaller facilities in the security or first aid office. We also recommend that contingency chairs be stored in specified locations to accommodate evacuation of those who might become injured or incapable of descending the stairs without assistance. Training in proper use of the Stryker evacuation chair is essential. However, training in proper lifting technique before use of the evacuation chair will also help to minimize the risk of injury to operators or their passengers. Proper lifting technique follows 4 basic guidelines. Number 1, keep your hands close to your body. Number 2, coordinate movements with your partner. Number 3, keep your back straight and lift with your legs. And number 4, avoid twisting. It's also important to always operate the evacuation chair as described in your operation and maintenance manual or in-service video. Following these basic guidelines while using the evacuation chair will help ensure smooth and controlled operation while reducing the risk of injury to you and your passenger. Stryker's evacuation chair is constructed of oversized aluminum tubing, which makes it lightweight yet durable enough to move passengers weighing as much as 500 pounds. Heavy-duty sealed casters keep dirt and grit from penetrating the wheel housing, helping to assure smooth motion. Wheel locks help keep the chair from moving when transferring a passenger or when the chair is positioned on an uneven surface. And the wheel locks can be used to prop the evacuation chair up against a vertical surface when in its upright and folded position. Non-slip hand grips molded from soft rubber provide maximum comfort for a more secure grip. Extendable head and foot end lift handles provide increased clearance for an unobstructed view of feet and steps and greater comfort. Lift handle positioning also helps distribute the passenger's weight evenly between operators for improved balance and lifting technique. And the evacuation chair also includes an extendable upper control handle for more flexibility when rolling or guiding the chair. The upper lift handle is ergonomically designed to support proper operator positioning and comfort when moving passengers downstairs. And a convenient head support helps to secure passengers who may be semi-conscious or have compromised head control. One of the evacuation chair's most unique features is the patent-pending stair tread system that allows operators to control passenger transport downstairs without lifting, regardless of the stair configuration. To remove the evacuation chair from its storage position, simply remove the optional protective cover and lift it from the optional wall storage bracket. Unfold the chair by firmly pulling the leg frame from its locking clip. The seat lock will automatically engage, but it's important to pull up on the seat to be sure it's securely locked. Next, engage the dual rear wheel locks by pressing down on each pedal and extend the upper control handle by pulling the red release cable and extending the handle until it locks into its highest position. Again, check to be sure it is securely locked. Then place your passenger onto the evacuation chair and securely fasten the chest, lap, and ankle straps before moving your passenger. First-time installation of the chest and lap straps is accomplished by simply wrapping each strap through the frame and then through the strap loop. Securing of the ankle strap requires that it be fed through the frame loop before the buckle is in place. See our operation and maintenance manual for step-by-step instructions. Be sure all straps are in place and firmly secured, even when transporting the empty chair, to minimize possible damage caused by dangling straps. Rolling transport can be easily performed by a single operator. Simply release the wheel locks. The Stryker evacuation chair makes it possible to transport passengers through areas that would be impossible for standard wheelchairs. Durable front casters make it easy to maneuver the evacuation chair over flat surfaces, just as you would a wheelchair, using either the head and lift handles or the backrest tube. Manpower can be a real concern during an emergency evacuation. With the Stryker evacuation chair, it's less of a concern because a single operator can transport a passenger weighing up to 200 pounds downstairs. Simply roll the chair to the top of the stairs squarely and engage the stair tread. Squeeze the red track release bar against the black cross tube. Relax your grip on the release bar and forcefully pull the stair tread to the fully extended position until both sides lock securely. Always verify both sides of the stair tread are locked by trying to fold it back up. Then tilt the chair back just far enough to allow the stair tread to make contact with the floor. Maintain that angle as you guide the chair over the edge of the stairs to engage the first step and the edges of subsequent stairs. At this angle, the stair tread will maintain a steady glide down the stairs. 2 operators are required to transport passengers weighing between 200 and 400 pounds downstairs. First, the foot end operator descends in front of the evacuation chair, while the head end operator again rolls the evacuation chair to the top of the stairs squarely and deploys the stair tread. The foot end operator then extends the foot end lift handles by pushing the red release button on each handle and pulling the handles out until they lock securely into position. Again, check to be sure they are locked before attempting to transport. The head end operator tilts the chair back just enough to allow the stair tread to contact the floor, and both operators guide the evacuation chair over the edge, allowing the stair tread to rest evenly across the edges of several stairs. Continue to descend by simply maintaining enough counter pressure between the head end and foot end operators to keep the treads in contact with the steps. This positioning will help assure that the passenger's weight is transferred primarily to the stair tread, while also keeping the chair from rocking as it glides down the stairs. The innovative stair tread system also provides braking force as a function of passenger weight. In fact, the heavier the passenger, the more braking force is applied. The end result is smooth, controlled, and predictable motion down the stairs. And this reclined position, close proximity to the stairs, and smooth transport also enhances the passenger's sense of security. If either operator needs to pause or rest, simply tilt the chair forward enough to allow the rear wheels to rest in the crook of the stair. To continue transport, tilt the chair back and re-engage the stair tread. At landings, the evacuation chair can simply be tilted to the upright position and rolled squarely to the edge of the next flight of stairs without adjustments or delays. Descend the next flight as you did the first. One note, liquids or debris on the stairs could affect operator footing and the stair tread's ability to make full contact with the stairs, so it's important to clear debris where possible. Consider using a second operator even if the passenger weighs less than 200 pounds, or consider using an alternate route. At ground level, again, tilt the evacuation chair back to its upright position. Fold the stair tread if it's no longer needed, and check to be sure it's securely locked. The innovative design of the Stryker evacuation chair sets it apart from other evacuation chairs in that it's designed to allow operators to transport a passenger upstairs as well. Simply position the evacuation chair at the foot of the stairs, back first, and with the stair tread in its closed and locked position. Extend the head and foot end lift handles. Check to be sure the foot end lift handles are securely locked into position. Then, with the foot end operator facing the passenger, and the head end operator facing either the passenger or up the stairs, simultaneously lift the passenger, following the proper lifting guidelines described previously, and proceed slowly up the stairs. When you're ready to store the evacuation chair, simply secure and tighten the restraint straps to help keep them clean and to avoid damage from dangling buckles. Squeeze the red release handle and lean the chair slightly forward to allow the front wheels to swing out of the way as you secure the leg frame in the locking clip. Return it to its optional wall storage bracket and replace the optional protective cover by slipping the bottom pocket over the wheels, wrapping the side flaps around the chair frame, pulling the top flap down between the bars of the upper control handle and attaching the Velcro strips, and attaching the red handle strip to the Velcro on the front of the cover. Stryker's evacuation chair is designed to help prevent the back strain and injuries that can occur when moving immobile people up or down stairways in emergency situations. The evacuation chair is built to withstand the rigors of heavy-duty use, and you have the reputation of Stryker to stand behind the quality and performance of its products. Of course, we recommend that you read all labels and the detailed operation and maintenance manual before using the evacuation chair. We also recommend that you practice transport up and downstairs to familiarize yourself with the Stryker evacuation chair's features before using it with a real passenger. Training of personnel assigned to assist disabled people and those who will be responsible for the evacuation of people who become disabled is extremely important. Periodic exercise of those skills during fire drills, for example, will facilitate use during an emergency and help to reduce the risk of injury to operators and passengers. It's also important to assess passenger weight and operator ability when considering transport. If additional operators are needed to help transport a heavier passenger, the evacuation chair can accommodate them easily. Refer to your operation and maintenance manual for suggested placement of additional operators. If you have questions or would like more information on the Stryker Model 6253 evacuation chair, contact your Stryker representative at 1-800-RUGGED-6 or visit us on the web at www.ruggedcots.com.
downstairs here at the front lobby and we'll try them out. Maybe.
No X. That's one I